Good morning, kids, and I bet some of y'all are wondering from that old Jurassic World movie, the Indominus Rex, how did it actually die? All we saw was it be grabbed by the mosasaur and then pulled underwater. Well, to answer that, we're here today with Goji Centaur, who will give us the step-by-step of the death of the Indominus Rex. Let's hop in and see how that big white dino became a big red mess.
The killer of dinosaurs and people alike, the Indominus Rex, seemed all but unstoppable. Right until this moment, when it went up against the true ruler of Isla Nublar. Oh, we're not talking about Rexy. What happened when the most powerful creature in the franchise got its jaws around the series' most infamous hybrid monstrosity? Today on Goji Center, we break down two possible ways the Indominus met its fate in that lagoon. For you to, fully appreciate the kill simulations later, we need to recap on a few important details of this Mosa.
Please,
Mosasaurs are a lineage of lizards that first took to the Cretaceous oceans just after the Jurassic period. At the time, the ocean was full of many other terrifying apex predators, from ichthyosaurs to the plesiosaurs to marine crocodiles. A chance extinction event cleared the board, and these lizards quickly rose to the top. The earliest mosasaurs were about the size of monitor lizards today, but as they climbed up the food chain, they had to devise a whole new survival strategy, becoming brutal killing machines.
And massive.
The biggest of their kind, Mosasaurus and Tylosaurus, specialized specifically in dispatching other large animals. They were equipped with robust teeth that could split shell and crush bone, long jaws for better reach, and even optimizing a secondary row of fangs called pterygoid teeth towards the back of the throat to help hold and tear prey to shreds. Wounds on other giant marine reptiles show these apex predators were more than capable of butchering big game, even battling or hunting their own kind if the situation called for it. Key fossils like precision bites right through the armored shells of ammonites to disrupt their buoyancy, and chomps to the head on other predators to avoid them from fighting back also shows that mosasaurs were smart enough to have a specific strategy to kill different types of animals. And Mosasaurus in specific might have been targeting the most dangerous prey of all. A 2013 study looking at carbon isotopes found that Mosasaurus specifically hunted large animals and even other big predators. Nobody was safe from the Mosa. They may not have met—
Tyrannosaurus may have been the king of all lizards, but the mosasaur must have been the god of all lizards.
Large dinosaurs all that often out at sea, but if their jaws and teeth could dismember armored sea turtles and slice through the bones of other giant ocean predators, Mosasaurus could and did certainly kill dinosaurs. InGen's Mosa would know exactly what to do when going after some land food. Still, even land predators caught out at sea have formidable weapons. A fully grown Mosasaurus would need to be careful tackling something like a T-Rex at sea. So, was it possible for the ambushed Indominus to use its incredible power and abilities to fight back off-screen after getting dragged underwater? It was part cuttlefish and Dinosuchus, both adept in the water after all. Surely that gave it a chance to fight back underwater, right? No.
Never mind, it did. Oh, we'll have to see in a moment. And we're back.
Let's take a step back here and look at the big picture. The Mosasaurus's mass estimates might be all over the place, but it is at least triple, if not quadruple, the Indominus's weight. It's faster, it's much stronger, and it's in its element. So that said, this isn't an episode of Monster Face-Off. It's an execution straight out of Worst Ways to Die, starring the Indom as the test dummy. This Indominus won't stand a chance. We'll keep our two simulations loading here so we can witness this Mosa have some dinner here, and meanwhile we'll go ahead and tell you how you can avoid starving because you don't have the time to go hunt your own food and figure out how to fill up your tank with Factor 75. Hey,
Okay, we're gonna take a quick cut, and we're back.
It seems like our simulations have finished loading, taking us to method number 1, drowning. Wait, no, hold up. This method of drowning isn't going to be boring. It kinda sucks. Just hear us out. Launching out of the water as it did, the Mosasaurus certainly mimicked the crocodiles you see on those brutal croc hunt videos online. Going off the official Jurassic World website at the time the movie released, the InGen Mosasaurus had a bite force listed at about 13,000 psi. However, the true damage might be substantially higher. Veteran viewers might remember the Monster Face-Off episode starring this very Mosa, where we discussed some of the mechanics behind a bite like this. If the bite is concentrated on a smaller surface area, then the bite is much, much more lethal. And every ounce of that biting pressure for the Mosa just got slammed down onto the Indominus's neck. Slowing down the footage, we can hear the gasp of air being forced out of the hybrid's body after such a chomp. Ouch. And while the Indominus did manage to thrash and struggle for a moment, the Mosasaurus wasn't done yet. Much like how some crocodiles will thrash and whip prey against the ground or water once they get a good hold, the Mosasaurus lurched back with enough force to yank the Indominus's entire body off the ground. This impact alone, on top of the biting pressure, could have been more than enough to break the Indominus's neck. Once the Indominus violently hit the water and was dragged against it, all of its weight is going one direction and putting all of that strain on the throat. Vertebrae could be easily dislocated, if not outright crushed. And with a ruptured spinal cord, the Indominus would lose most of its ability to move its body right then and there. Granted, this is the same hybrid that was able to shrug off bullets and a mauling from an angry T-Rex. So what if it was tough enough to not have its neck snapped right then and there? Honestly, it might have wished it did. This is where a part of the theropod dinosaur biology might actually wind up working against the hybrid. Mammals and lizards can hold their breath easily underwater because their lungs open up and close with the movement of certain muscles. In humans, this would be the diaphragm. Birds, dinosaurs, and especially theropods have what is called a pneumatic system. A series of air sacs through the body connected to the throat and lungs to constantly pump air. Instead of individual breaths, air is constantly being pushed in and out. This system increases stamina by venting out heat more efficiently, and is the reason why today birds dominate the skies in the age of mammals. Underwater, however, this is a critical disadvantage, and might be one of the reasons very few dinosaurs ever took to living in the water. With the Mosasaurus crunching down on the Indominus's body and thrashing around, the hybrid would be reflexively trying to get as much air as it could. The pneumatic system it relies on to breathe would just suck in more and more water until multiple air sacs and the lungs got flooded. The situation gets even worse if the Mosasaur lets go of the neck to target the belly. Remember, this is a predator smart enough to know vulnerable areas. It would know exactly where one would be here on a dinosaur. Crunching down on the Indominus's midsection whilst keeping it underwater, the Indominus's ribcage and gastralia wouldn't be able to take the pressure. Broken bone would be split.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I want to see a Mosasaur do the crocodile death roll. If you know what I'm talking about, you can agree. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do yourself a favor and look it up. It is a brutal sight.
Stabbed into the body even deeper than the teeth would go. The crushing force of those jaws and broken ribs would perforate the interior air sacs and organs even more. The Indominus would be taking on water in record time and drowning in its own blood on top of that. Even without the teeth needing to punch in that far, the Indominus is effectively impaled with its own body. Skewered on the inside with more and more seawater rushing in. Unconsciousness could happen in seconds and death shortly after.
Oh, we'll be right back. And we're back.
This could happen in seconds, and death shortly after. But there is an alternate, even more grisly way the hybrid might have met its fate. A method employed by the current oceanic apex predator. Method number 2, dismemberment.
Oh, shit.
Instead of just waiting for the Indominus to drown, the far messier way for the Mosa to get its meal would be to put those teeth and jaws to work. Letting go of the Indominus's neck briefly, the Mosasaurus instead clamps down lower, biting down firmly on the flank of the body. Up to 40 conical teeth stab through the Indominus's hide. That monstrous biting pressure would be more than enough to crack bone and punch right through any dermal armor, shattering the osteoderms on the way in. After getting a good grip, the Mosasaurus would then thrash side to side, with the teeth gripping the hide and muscle so firmly, tissue is literally wrenched off the bone. This would not only cause massive amounts of shock, making any amount of drowning even worse, it would also rupture arteries and shred veins. There would be a lot of blood in the water very quickly. All the while, the Mosasaurus gets to eat bite by bite, not even bothering to shred chunks of flesh out with the serrations on the teeth. With the hybrid immobilized and unable to swim away, the sea reptile would be able to pull back and lurch in again and again, taking the choice cuts with every bite after twisting off its mouthfuls. And once the belly was targeted with no more muscle and tissue holding the guts in, well, you can put 2 and 2 together. We can see the same method used today by the modern-day equivalent to Mosasaurus, the orca. Just like the Mosasaurus, these gigantic dolphins hunt a wide range of prey and have the tools to handle all of them. With teeth quite similar in many ways to the Mosa and jaws so strong we don't even know their true bite force, these sea hunters make for an excellent analog to the Mosasaurus. And when hunting large animals like great white sharks, elephant seals, or ganging up on even larger whales, orca employ this same brutal tactic. Seeing the orca dismember their prey like this might explain why the Indominus was in pieces by the time we saw her in Fallen Kingdom. Or why the Mosasaur was swimming away with her in its mouth at the end of the movie, but bits and pieces of the hybrid have become scattered all across the lagoon by the time the kids got there in Season 2 of Camp Cretaceous. By one means or another, the intelligent Indominus Rex learned one final lesson during its short reign over Isla Nublar. For as terrifying as it was on land, any apex predator hits their limit when out of their element.
Oh, well that is just epic. Personally, I have to go with the dismemberment route for its death. So anyway folks, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Link to the original will be in the description below, so remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below. I just said that, I don't know why. Yeah, I said that twice. And I'll see all you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.